Good morning, everybody. Everybody hear me okay? Good morning. My name is Charlie Shields, and I'm the chairperson of the Hamilton Niagara Fleet Safety Council, and we're putting on this great conference that you're going to get a lot of phenomenal information from, and I really appreciate everybody being here. I know some have come a long ways, had to get up very early in the morning, and it's nice to see so many familiar faces here. I'm going to introduce Bruce Outridge. He has a special guest he's going to bring up with him. And I want to thank Bruce and Mike Deary. They've done a phenomenal job on putting this together, as well as other members of the council. So, Bruce, do you want to come up and say a few words? Thanks again.
How are we doing, everybody? Everybody had a good breakfast? Good, because we're not taking it back, so it's in here. All right, so I didn't know I was speaking today, so I don't have anything prepared, but I'm going to go on for about an hour or two, and then we'll move on. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Special Olympics. So our chapter is, among other chapters, is one of the chapters that supports the Truck Convoy for Special Olympics. How many people in here have heard of the convoy? Anybody been a part of it? Actually been a part of it? Yeah. If you have not experienced it, the one thing I'm going to say is to get out and experience it. Personally, I've been working with them for probably about 3 or 4 years now. And when you go out to your first event, you're kind of thinking, oh yeah, it's another convoy. But when you start talking with the athletes and seeing the smiles on their faces because of the participation from the people in the industry, you realize how important it is. And so I'm going to introduce Tammy Blackwell. Tammy's the organizer for the Paris convoy. There's one in the GTA and one in Paris. So we work pretty closely with the Paris one. And she's going to come up and talk about their goals. I think it's 15 years. Is it 15? It's the 15th anniversary this year? Wow. And I've done work outside of the convoy with Special Olympics too. And I tell you, there's a lot of people doing good work. And it's not just about making sure somebody plays a sport. You're actually changing lives. They would not be doing some of the things they're doing without our support. So we support them as a chapter. I certainly support them personally and through our business. And Tammy's going to come up and probably ask you to empty your pockets. But if she doesn't, she's really nice, don't worry. She's been part of the industry for a long time, and it's a great cause. So I would certainly ask you to support it. So I'd like to welcome Tammy Blackwell.
Thank you, Bruce. And Bruce, thank you for your support. There's a number of reasons I wanted to address the group personally today, because in the past I've had a number of volunteers, sponsors, etc. represent us, but I felt strongly about being here to thank you for that past support. And Bruce is right, I'm not looking to necessarily fleece you. However, we want your trucks this year. So I'm here on that personal appeal. I saw a lot of hands go up about Truck Convoy, and you know it. And you may know it because it comes up every year as a donation request. 2 weeks ago, the World Games were held in Abu Dhabi. Got it right. 700 countries competed, 7,000 athletes. This program is 50 years old as of last year. The first games were held in Soldiers Field in the US. You probably know the background that this was championed by Eunice Kennedy Shriver as a cause that grew worldwide. What you may not know is your Hamilton connection. The actual research was done by a Canadian doctor, Dr. Frank Hayden. Dr. Frank was doing research actually at Western University. It then progressed to the Hamilton Connection, Mac University, and onward to Toronto until he was recognized for his work by the Special Olympic Organizing Committee and brought to Illinois. So, proud roots here in Hamilton, because some of that research was done here with athletes in this backyard. In 1969, the first games were held in Toronto, so that makes it 50 years for Canada this year. 35 years ago, a group of law enforcement officers were working with the organization and decided to champion it as their main cause. So to this day, law enforcement worldwide is the #1 fundraiser for Special Olympics. Now, to bring you fast forward for that connection with law enforcement, in 2001, the first truck convoy was held in Florida. It was started by a Corporal Norm Schneiderhan with the Florida State Police. He had a trucking connection to his trucking family in New Jersey. They'd been trucking for years. And he saw all the other things that they were trying to do, run, sleep on coffee shops, and polar plunges have become a fundraiser, etc. And he said, why not trucks? I know trucks. We can get this happening. Everybody thought he was nuts. He got 200 trucks, his first convoy. That convoy doesn't exist today, but in 2005, a group of us from Ontario heard about it, approached Special Olympics, approached law enforcement, because we do run as an event under the blessing of the law enforcement torch run, which is pretty substantial. To this day, this program has raised $930,000 in Ontario for Special Olympics. This truck convoy, this industry, folks like yourselves in this room contributing to this. When we started the convoy, there were 11,000 athletes in programs in Ontario. To date, it is well over 26,000. So your contribution does make a difference in small and large ways. Toronto will be hosting the first youth games and unified sports. Hamilton, again, was one of the first schools to endorse equal sports in their schools. It was called Four Corners back then, but you were a test market and passed beautifully. And again, thank you, Hamilton. Today, I'd like to let you know that it is our 15th anniversary. A group on the committee decided to set up a challenge. We call it Accept the Challenge 2019 to raise that $1 million this year. We're 70,000 away. I may have to mortgage my house, but we will make that $1 million. The other challenge, or not challenge, but the statement is that provided we have our usual minimum 72 trucks, and the highest we've ever had is 116, then we will have done well over 91,000 miles to benefit Special Olympics. And that's a run out of the Paris Fairgrounds down to Putnam Scales and back, actually just before the Scales, which is a coincidence, a total coincidence. Just a great turnaround point, seriously. Risk management group, I forgot where I am. Know your place, know your audience. And the third and final challenge, the biggest mountain for myself and our committee, and I have to stop for 1 second. Thank you to those in the room who do currently contribute. I see drivers in the room. I see committee members who put in hours and hours. I see sponsors in the room. I can't say enough. Every little bit helps. This year, we wanted to surpass the 116 trucks that we've had and add one for every year, which is 131 trucks. And it can be done. The grounds can hold it. It's a lot of extra work for our people. Ron's shaking his head going, they hate her. You have no idea how much this is work for our group. But I think it can be done with the help of you folks, your trucks. We don't come close to tapping the market of available fleets involved in this. Hamilton has a huge Special Olympics program. Those athletes participate. They come out, they get a ride with the truck driver, they spend the day. They have breakfast with us, lunch with us, interactive sports. We will play a baseball game against one of their teams this year at the end of the day. We have a Friday night barbecue, and that's us trying to get you on the grounds early with family music, with family entertainers. It's an opportunity for us to reunion. And this is the only convoy that's held on grass. And there was a reason for that. We figured our drivers had seen enough pavement to last them a lifetime. And if we were going to build an event, it wouldn't be in a parking lot. It would be in a family setting where their families could participate. We have a very large agenda. It's not quite posted yet, but you can literally arrive anywhere from 4 o'clock Friday to 6 a.m. on Saturday and come and see us. Just like just like Bruce has said, I can stand here the rest of the day, which would be awful for you, and tell you everything I know about the convoy and the experiences I've had, drivers have had, but nothing says it like an hour on the grounds. So what I'm going to ask for today is, if you can, please go back to your trucking companies. If you're affiliated with companies, spread the word, spread our website. We are on Twitter. I personally handle the Twitter handle. I support as many of the organizations, including Fleet Safety, as I possibly can. And I just ask that you do the same for us and spread the word. When you leave here today, I know it's March, but it's going to be September 14th before you know it, and I'm going to be counting trucks, and I'm looking for those Hamilton trucks this year. So thank you very much for your time. September 14th, Paris Fairgrounds. Come out on the 13th. Just join us for a barbecue. We'll feed you. You don't have to pay. It is an industry celebration. We think that this industry has done a very big job in raising $930,000 to date for Special Olympics. And I thank you for your contribution to that. Thanks very much.